Hello, 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 my amigos. Welcome one, welcome all. It's time for another exciting edition of the show with no name. And you know how this works, folks. Right now, I need you to count down with me
10,
because it's
9,
time
8,
for
7, 6,
liftoff.
5,
Come on, do it
4,
with me, amigos.
3,
2,
1,
come on.
0.
Let's go.
Ignition.
Here we go.
Liftoff.
That's the word I was waiting for. Welcome, folks. Come on board. We are going to rock.
Hold on to your hat.
We are going to roll.
Seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hat.
Get ready for the ride of your life.
The show with no. It's show with no name time.
On Vaughn Radio. Come on. Hands up. This is the fun part. Let's go. Go. Come on. I gotta feel your energy, folks. Give it to me. I want it all, like Freddie Mercury. Welcome to the electric show with no name. Exciting, oozing, refumar? Oozing, I think that's the word. Oozing with energy and oomph. Ooh, wow, that's a good one. Oozing with oomph. Let's start looking up some words. Let's see, the first word is ooze. And that's an onomatopoeic word. Refumar, I was right. Oozing with oomph. These are two words with a double O. Oozing with oomph. And oomph is enthusiasm, energy, vigor. And I know, show with no namers, you are oozing with oomph. Welcome aboard. Welcome to another exciting show. I urge you guys to participate along with us every day in all the different sections. But I will warn you, your English will improve leaps and bounds. Leaps and bounds. Mucha mejora. Rápido, fuerte. So keep up the good work, show with no namers. You make me proud. Totally proud of my show with no namers. Especially those of you who have participated in this week's question of the week, folks. In fact, this is your last chance. That's right. If you haven't participated yet, your last chance to participate in the question of the week.
Question of the week.
All right, my amigos, this week's question of the week, and a quick round of applause to all of you who have participated already. Thank you. If you haven't participated yet, I urge you to do that ASAP. And you have to tell us now, a lot of times we look at positive things over here. You know, things that make us smile. When things are all hunky-dory, de buen rollito, right? Sure. But sometimes we've got to talk about the other side of things, the other side of the coin. So this week's question of the week, we're looking at precisely that. What is one place that you have visited that you swear, you vow, dos formas, de decir juras. You swear, you vow, you will never return to this place as long as you live. And I didn't say where is one place. I said what's one place, because it doesn't have to be a country or a city. It can be someone's home. So what is one place that you have visited that you never, ever want to go back to? Once was enough. As we say, been there, done that. he estado ahí, lo he hecho, táchalo de la lista. I'll give you guys my answer as always. And if you haven't participated in this section, I want to ask you why. Because if you're like many of my students, your number one complaint, your number one problem is what? You don't get a chance to speak, to use the English that you're learning, that you're listening to, that you're absorbing every day here on Vaughn Radio, in your English classes, and all that jazz. So this is an opportunity not just to speak, but to express your opinion, and on a weekly basis. And sometimes it's about like very serious, deep things. I want you to do some soul searching, and that's good. You should be able to express yourself in English if somebody asks you about the deepest of things, las cosas más profundas, and very trivial, petty things, no cosas baladíes. Is that how you say it? No, things that aren't important, but we like to talk about them anyway. So, folks, if you haven't participated, you've got until the end of today, Thursday, because we do the section every Friday. I urge you all to participate in the question of the week. As I said, those of you who have participated already, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know why? Well, you make my job easier. In fact, you're already in my my mixing board. You say mesa de mezclar. We say tabla. You're already in here. I can go over your names right now, but we don't want to do that because we've got to move on. Hey, Damian, what's crack-a-lackin', buddy?
Hey, Alberto, I was planning to do some sports this week. What about playing baseball?
Ooh, baseball. I love it. But I'm not sure yet. Can we touch base next week?
Touch base. Estamos en contacto, ¿no? Hablamos en algún momento. Yeah, okay. Let's touch base. Okay, what about basketball? Do you want to play basketball?
Oh, man, I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports. But I don't know if I can this weekend because I've already got plans. Oh, man, that's the way the ball bounces.
That's the way the ball bounces. Así están las cosas, ¿no? Así bota la pelota. Así bota la pelota. That's the way the ball bounces. I love that expression. Okay, what about tennis? Do you want to play tennis?
Well, I love tennis, but I'm not really a good player. If you don't mind playing with a novice, the ball's in your court, buddy.
La bola está en mi campo, ¿eh? La pelota está en mi tejado. All right. Do you want to play some soccer?
Sure, I'd love to play some soccer or football, as you call it. What time do we kick off?
Perfect. We're kicking off at 9. Are you available?
Sure, but I might have to play some golf before with some friends. It's par for the course.
It's par for the course. Es lo normal, ¿no? Es lo normalito, lo que se hace.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what about billiards? Do you like playing billiards?
Yeah, but right now I'm behind the 8 ball.
I'm behind the 8 ball. Estás detrás de la bola 8, como que llevas las de perder.
Yeah, wow, a lot of idiomatic expressions here.
Muy buenas expresiones. Si es que así da gusto aprender inglés con un profe como Alberto y un poquito de creatividad, tienes This Book is the Shit. El mejor libro para aprender inglés que te has echado a la cara in your life. Píllatelo, vas a disfrutar mogollón de dibujos para que lo aprendas todo fácil, con conexiones lógicas y divertidas. Es la manera más sencilla y más divertida de aprender inglés. No te la pierdas.
Damian, you're such a good sport. Te enrollas. You can pick up your copy of This Book is the Shit at
Vaughantienda.com.
It's the shit. Pop quiz. Come on. Pop quiz. You ready? I hope so. Pop quiz. Come on. Pop quiz. I want to hear you sing it with me. Pop quiz. Yeah. Can't hear you. I didn't say you, I said yeah. Can't hear you. Speak up. Let's go. Hey, wait, that's our show with Ruby. Pop quiz. Come on now. Get psyched. Pop quiz. Is this an English class or a Zumba class?
Quiz.
Spinning. Come on. Get on those exercise bikes. Come on, double up. Yeah, pop quiz. Yeah. 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 All right, my amigos, it is your pop quiz here on the show with no name. And today we're not going to look at something from my latest book. I can't even remember it. Oh, yeah, right. This book is the shit. Right. We just heard it on that ad that Damian and I, which, by the way, we made that. And if you don't know those idiomatic expressions, I think in that ad, there are about 8 or 9 idiomatic expressions. So it's a great opportunity, if you're not familiar with them, to write them down, to use them in context, my amigos. All right, this isn't from This Book is the Shit. This is from my first book, where it all began, and it's English everywhere. This is the last chapter of the book. I put it off till the end because, as many of you know, I'm not a numbers guy. I like, more creative stuff, more right-brained than left-brained. But I've got to be honest, it's important to know your numbers. So listen to this little audio clip of a much younger me and Mercedes, who is one of my students. And then, of course, I'll have a mission for you afterwards. This is from English Everywhere. If you have the book, it's the last chapter, chapter 40. If you don't have the book, what the hell are you waiting for? It came out, I can't even count, maybe 10 years ago? Geez, Louise, you're really behind the times. All right, this is English Everywhere on numbers. English everywhere. All right, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for the final chapter. Now, esto suena a película. The final chapter. All right, well, speaking of numbers. Now, numbers, I am not a numbers guy. I am a creative guy. I like creativity. Yeah, I like to make money. So I guess I need to know numbers, but I'm not really, it's not my forte, como decimos, no es mi fuerte. No, I'm not good at numbers, but you know what? I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to improve. And one day I will master. Llegar a dominar. One day I will master numbers. I promise I'm going to do it. But I've got a numbers expert. ¿Por qué? Porque lo digo yo. A numbers, se me acaba de poner cara. ¿Quién te ha dicho eso? Y sabía. I knew your reaction. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, she comes to the program TGIF with us very much, and we're very happy to have her with us once again. Please welcome Mercedes.
Hello, Alberto.
Hey, Mercedes. How's it going?
Fine. It's great. It's going great.
All right, good. Now, do you like numbers? Are you a left-brained person or a right-brained person?
I don't really like numbers.
Okay, so then why did you choose this one? You want to learn about them?
Yes, I do.
Well, you're a smart. I'm telling you, you are a smart cookie. Eres muy lista. Que no es lo mismo que smart ass, que es listita. Are you a smart cookie or a smart ass?
A smart cookie.
Okay, all
Obviously.
right. Obviously. Vamos, tío. A ver. All right, well, I'll tell you something. When I see numbers, I get nervous. I don't like numbers. I see like a big number, and I'm, I get out of breath.
Well, with maths, I don't like maths. But if I see numbers, it doesn't.
Well, normally if you see numbers, you have to calculate them or figure them out, averiguarlos, ¿no? Que, de hecho, figure es una buena, empezamos con eso. Figure es cifra, ¿no? And to figure out, descifrar, ¿no? Entonces, si lo piensas así, averiguar, descifrar, to figure something. I'm figuring out the figures. Estoy averiguando las cifras, yeah? All right, well, we're going to look at some different stuff here today that has to do with numbers, que tiene que ver con números. Acuérdense, we don't say the numbers. Si estamos hablando en general, we say numbers. Numbers, okay. Right? We don't say the fruits, las frutas. No, we say fruit. Cuando hablamos en general, no ponemos el artículo the. Vosotros en español, the life. No, life is beautiful. right? The things are crazy. Las cosas. No. Things, en general, are crazy. Okay, so, all right, let's take a look over here. I'm going to put you to the test now. Okay, how do we say contable in inglés? Do you know?
Countable.
Ok, contable como número, pero digo como profesión. Alguien que, porque contables e incontables es countable and uncountable. ¿Ves? Eres listilla. You are a smart ass. Okay, so let me ask you that. Un contable o una contable, somebody who takes care of, cuida de tu dinero.
A banker.
Okay,
No,
a banker.
It's a banquero.
Okay, tenemos dos. Tenemos accountant and bookkeeper. Literalmente que cuide, que vigila los libros. We call the books, right? The books is like the financial statements. Le llaman the books in English. De hecho, to pay someone off the books es pagarles dinero negro, right? Off. So piensa los books como donde se marcan los beneficios, the profits, and all this kind of stuff. Okay, so contable, accountant or
Bookkeeper.
¿Ves? Yo te he hecho una mano ahí. ¿Ves? Juntos somos un buen equipo. Bookkeeper, a bookkeeper, right? Okay, what about matemático, la persona? Porque I know you know mathematics, and como dicen en Inglaterra, maths, con S, y nosotros decimos math sin S. So, mi pregunta es, ¿cómo decimos la persona?
I'm going to try.
Okay, try.
Mathematical. No,
Eso
mathematic.
es el campo, something that's mathematical, a mathematical equation. Entonces, eso es matemático, pero no es la persona.
Mathematic.
Mathematician.
Okay.
Dice, bueno, yo voy a intentar aquí, voy a por todas. Y si cuela uno, pues cuela. Mathematician.
Mathematician.
Good, okay, a mathematician. Now, I could never, ever, ever be a mathematician.
Me neither.
Me neither. Yeah, I'm telling you. Okay, let's look at this one. What are punto de decimal?
Point.
Decimal point, yeah. A decimal point. Porque tenemos que tener cuidado porque cuando hablamos de punto, ¿no? Por ejemplo, en una cifra, right? Punto, o mejor, en .com, es dot en ese caso. Pero cuando estamos hablando de decimales, point.
Okay.
Decimal point. Y es igual que en español, ¿no? Ok, porcentaje.
Percentage.
Ok, cuidado con la pronunciación. Percentage.
Percentage.
No age, pero age.
Percentage.
Eso es. Con lo mismo que average.
Average.
Percentage. Este age es age.
Percentage.
Perfecto. Percentage. Average, right? Okay. Above average. No se me acuerda. Hay miles de palabras. Coverage, cobertura. Coverage. ¿Ves? El age es el age en muchos casos. Ok. So, porcentaje, ¿cómo se dice?
Percentage.
Muy bien. Ok. How do we say suma?
Add.
Ok, to add. Y se llama addition. Eso es, yeah. Add.
Addition.
Yeah. Addition. Y el verbo es to add. Okay. If you add numbers together, if you add 2 and 2, you get 4. That's an easy one. Hasta ahí hemos llegado, ¿no? Pero lo bueno es que esto es de inglés, que no va de matemáticas realmente, va de enseñarte cómo decir todos los diferentes números que solemos usar en inglés. Bueno, en todos los idiomas, fechas, horas y todo. Y vamos a mirar todo eso. Ok, so vamos a ver, restar. Resta.
I don't know.
Subtract.
Subtract, subtraction.
Yeah, eso es. To subtract es el verbo, and subtraction es el sustantivo. Ok, fácil, multiplicación.
Multiplication.
Qué difícil esto, ¿eh? Multiplication. Multiplication y el verbo es to...
Multiplicate.
Tú lo has inventado, pero totalmente ahí.
Multiply.
Ahora sí. I've got chills, they're multiplying, and I'm losing control. There it is. Ahí lo tienes en contexto. Ok, división.
Division.
Good. ¿Y el verbo?
Divide.
Good. You got it. I like that one. Good. Ok, igual. El símbolo de igual.
Equal? No.
Equals.
Yes?
Con ese.
Equals.
So 2 plus 2 equals 4. O se puede decir is 4, pero eso se llama de equal sign. Equal sign. Ok. Grados. 40 grados. Hace 40 grados.
No, grades is notas.
Cuidado.
It's 40
degrees.
Degrees.
Ah,
Sí,
ves
pues,
con la...
tip of my
Yeah, pero veo que si te doy un empujoncito ahí, lo tienes. Okay, so we say degrees. Degrees, cuidado que mucha gente dice lo que casi llegaste a decir tú, grades. Y grades con marcas en el cole. No, my grades. Do you get good grades in school?
Yes, I
Okay.
do.
And what is the weather today? What temperature is it out there?
10 degrees.
Good. Okay. All right. Now, gráfica de torta.
What's
Esto,
that?
esto es lo que ves. Dice, 10% es un círculo y un quesito ahí, ¿no?
Oh, I say the cheese.
The cheese. Pues en inglés es not the cheese. En inglés hablamos de tarta. A pie chart. ¿Conoces Weekend Town? La nueva iniciativa de Vaughan.
Pues no.
Es un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés. Y es nuevísimo.
A ver, cuéntame más.
Tendrás una inmersión lingüística total durante 2 días. Un total de 24 horas hablando con angloparlantes de todo el mundo.
¡Wow! ¡Qué interesante!
Ganarás confianza y soltura a la hora de comunicarte en inglés. Mejorarás tu comprensión auditiva y tus habilidades conversacionales en una situación de comunicación real en inglés. Ven a Weekend Town y te sorprenderás con todo lo que puede avanzar tu inglés en un fin de semana. Weekend Town de Vaughan. Un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés. Check it out, folks. Weekend Town, one of our latest, greatest initiatives to get you not just speaking English, but I think breaking down that barrier that's so important, feeling comfortable, realizing you can do it. And that goes a long way. Eso da para mucho. And before, the only experience like this was the whole week. You'd have to go away for the week, which is amazing. If you can do it, if you have the time, if you have the money, you should definitely do Vaughan Town. It is a life-changing experience. But now you can do the Weekend Town, and it's like a lighter version. But I will warn you, it may cause addiction. All right, well, folks, we listened to some audio about math there in my first book. Again, if you don't have it, it's called English Everywhere. It has 40 chapters, and in each chapter, I take you to a different place. I take you to the dentist. We go shopping. We go to the hospital, because unfortunately, that's a place we have to visit sometimes. Hopefully, we are at the hospital and not in the hospital. If you don't know the difference, then pick up a copy of the book, because I explain it in there. At the hairdressers, esto es muy importante, un cortecito de pelo. Quiero mechas. No quiero esto. Déjame las patillas. So not just hair, but for the fellas, facial hair, right? Una perilla is a goatee. So this book, I never counted how much vocabulary is in here. And let me outline practical vocabulary. Plus, it's got little mini lessons in there as well. So if you haven't picked up a copy of it, you can do it at vaughantienda.com. I don't know if they still sell the original. I have in my hands right now the original, and you know how you'll know? The original is a soft cover, okay? It's a paperback book, and it's got CDs in it. And the pocket one, which is the latest one, well, it's a little bit more compact, basically. And it doesn't come with CDs because, well, most of you don't have a CD player. Neither do I. Not anymore. But it comes with downloadable audio, which you just heard. And in each chapter, there's about a half an hour of audio. So do the math. Oh, I forgot to tell you about the pop quiz. Sure. Hablando de do the math, calcula. Hey, I reminded myself there. I want you to use all 4 of the basic ways we calculate. Quiero que hagas 2 por 2 es 4. You don't have to do difficult math, pero quiero que lo escribas. 2 dividido por 2 es tal, right? 1 más 1 y restamos también. So all 4. Tenemos que restar, tenemos que sumar, tenemos que multiplicar y tenemos que dividir en inglés. So I want you to give me the equation. ¿Cómo dirías? 2 por 2 es tal. All right, give me all 4 of them, and we'll take a look at that and so much more after this quick commercial break, amigos. Thank you so much for your participation here every day. It's an absolute pleasure to have you with us. We'll be right back with tons more. So, stick around. And don't forget to stop by grupovon.com/cursos destacados. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 2 of today's show with no name. Thank you so much for learning and laughing with us here every day on the show. It's always a pleasure to have you with us, amigos. As always, all right. Part 2 of today's show. We've got to see your answers in today's pop quiz. We also have our Say What soundbite, which is an awesome one. Oh, you're going to love this one. I have a feeling some of you are going to know it right off the bat. En el primer segundo. Oh, man, it's a great one. Oh, it's a great one. So that's the Say What soundbite. We'll hear that twice. We'll check out our pop quiz. We've got a spelling bee as well. Homophones, and that's just in this second part of the show. And after today's show, when it's all said and done, cuando todo está dicho y hecho, you can spend some time with Ximena and Nacho. And by the way, what a great time. The trivia night last night. Oh, I'm exhausted. I feel good, but I'm exhausted. Thanks to everybody who came to the trivia night. It was a blast, as always. We'll see who's hosting next. All right, amigos, it's time for the Say What soundbite. Yeah. Say what? All right, amigos, welcome to your Say What soundbite. Oh, man, this has become like a legend. When I was a kid, this character didn't exist. I think I was probably in my 30s. I don't want to give you too much information, but if you know it, you know it. O sea, esto no tiene fallo. Now, the important thing here is not just knowing who it is, but also being able to give us your opinion based on what you heard. And I want your best English, guys. And hopefully by the end of it, I think everybody should be able to figure it out today. It's pretty short, and I think it's relatively easy as far as vocabulary is concerned. So here we go, folks. Here's your Say What soundbite for the first time.
It ceases to exist without me. No, you clearly don't know who you're talking to, so let me clue you in. I am not in danger, Skylar. I am the danger.
Whoa, are you serious? That's awesome. I've got to say, that is absolutely awesome. I mean, come on. It's intense, isn't it? Sounds pretty intense to me, amigos. All right, well, let me play it for you a second time now, and then we'll discuss it, and then we'll check also our pop quiz. I see I've got a lot of people sending us their answers. Again, thank you so much for the participation, my amigos. Here we go.
It ceases to exist without me. No, you clearly don't know who you're talking to, so let me clue you in. I am not in danger, Skylar. I am the danger.
Do you know about Vaughn groups? Well, I'm going to tell you all about them. They are group English classes that you can do via video conference or in person. And the good news is you can start whenever you want. And you can keep the same timetable, teacher, and classmates throughout the whole course. And the best part, there's no strings attached. Sin compromiso. And if you act now, you can get a 5% discount for paying up front. And if you stick with the course for 6 months, you'll get a 50% discount in June. Wow, what a deal! As if you needed more reasons to learn English with Vaughn. Check out our Vaughn groups. Have fun and make friends as you learn English. Sign up now while there are still spots available. Call us 911-385831. Or you can go to our website, grupovaughn.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media and find out if Vaughn groups are for you. That's right, folks. Vaughn groups, all that information, you can find it at grupovaughn.com/cursos destacados. In fact, I just shared the link with you in the live chat. You can also find it in the post. All right, well, let's take a look then. We were looking at some stuff in our pop quiz over here, some math stuff. And a quick reminder, the British say maths. Americans say math without the S. As I look through the book, too, I'm here at the end of the book because as I said, if you have the book, it's chapter 40. It's the last chapter. I know, I put it off. But at the end of the book, there's really an amazing resource for you, and it's called Guía de Pronunciación. And it just gives you a couple tips and some very common sounds with some examples and how to make them. So let's take a look at some of these right now, because this is really helpful, because if you know how to make the sounds, then you have the audio. You can kind of visualize it in your head, because what you don't want to do in English, and we know this very well, is read words like they're spelt. That's just going to throw you off time after time. Time after time. Time after time. If you fall, I will get you. I'll be waiting. Sing it. Time after time. All right, let's take a look then. One sound we've got here is the double T. Cotton. Forgotten. Now remember, you can do this the American way, right? Cotton. It's cotton. Forgotten. Damian, my partner on This Book is the Shit, This Book is the Milk, and This Book is the Milk too, he can't make the sound. So he just says the British way, cotton, cotton, forgotten, curtain, right? Cortina, olvidado, cotton. The American way, try it. Try it with me. Let me lower this down a little bit. Cotton, forgotten, curtain, certain. I hope you're pronouncing them. Certain. If not, at least certain. Mountain, no mountain, mountain or mountain. Certain, cotton, forgotten, curtain. Okay, the next one. The next one is the ow sound, which you guys don't normally have a problem with that one. Ow. Count. Well, it's shorter than ow. It's a short ow. Count. Out. Sound. Right? You've got the T and the U. Statue. Nature. Right? You've also got that hard A, hate, same day. Ooh, this is a difficult one. But we looked at it. It rhymes with bridge, mortgage, engagement. Right? Let's see what other, I'm kind of skipping through them here because the thing is some are more commonly mistaken than other. Oh, here's one. Jump. Say it with me. This is a really difficult sound for my students. I know it. Say it with me. Jump. Jump. Salta. Salta. Salta conmigo. Vamos, salta. Jump. Job. Jump for joy. Jump for joy. Saltas de la felicidad, de la alegría. This is my job. I'm a manager. No manager. Manager. I'm working on this project. In fact, those are two words that my students often mispronounce. Project manager. And the worst part is, a lot of them are project managers. So it's not project manager, it's project manager, project manager. So take a look at it. It's at the back of the book if you have it. It's not just at the back of this book, but it's at the back of a lot of our Vaughn books. So numbers. Let's take a look. Let's review a few things here. This way we can kind of go over the basics here. So this is one that a lot of people make mistakes with. Ordinal numbers. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, es fácil. TH después de todo. Fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. Yes. Good. That's kind of right. But what about first, second, and third? First, second, and third, que se repiten. What do I mean que se repiten? 21st, 22nd, 23rd, right? So that's a common mistake. I've heard people say 22th, 21th. Remember, siempre que es uno es first. Aunque sea 121st, el número 121. Y no es first. Piensa en tu cabeza que la I es una E. First. Okay? First. Another common thing, and I think that's about it with ordinal numbers. Bueno, el famosísimo fifth. No, fifth. Esa cambia sonido vocal. I know, it doesn't follow the pattern, but that's why we're pointing it out. First, second, third, fifth. The rest are all kind of simple, right? Unless it's a multiple of 10. So, for example, el 20, 20th. No es 20. Hay una E ahí, pero suave, no muy larga, cortita. Say it with me. 20th, 30th, 40th. It's really important that you repeat after me. 50th, 60th, 70th, 80th, 90th, and 100th. Wow. I know it sounds like we're speaking a different language. Let's try a couple with the first, second, third, okay? Repeat after me. 21st. 22nd. Esas son fechas, hay que saberlo. 21st, 22nd, 23rd. 24th, 25th. Vamos, seguimos con 1, 2, 3. 31st. Say it with me. Now, if you're British, you can say 31st, but Americans say the T like a D. 31st. 32nd. 33rd. Vamos con los 40. Say it with me. 41st. 42nd. 43rd. 3 years ago, I had my 43rd birthday. Last year, I had my 45th birthday. Acuérdate, estamos hablando de números ordinales. Let's go with 50. Y ¿sabes? Estoy omitiendo el múltiple de 10. Vamos a quedarnos con eso también. So, en esta, el 50, dilo tú primero y luego lo digo. El 50, 50th. ¿Lo has dicho bien? 50th. El 51, 51st. 51st. El 52, 52nd. 52nd. El 53, 53rd. ¿Y el 55? 55th. 55th. Así se dice. All right, 60. El 60, 60th. He just celebrated his 60th birthday. El 61, 61st. ¿Ves? El first siempre ahí. Por eso es muy importante que no digamos first, porque luego lo repetimos. El 62, 62nd. El 63, 63rd. El 64, 64th. Esa es fácil. ¿Y el 5? 65, 65th. Vamos hasta 100. 70, 70th. Say it with me, 70th. Good. El 71, 71st. El 73. Oh, vamos a quedarnos con 72. Nos hemos saltado. We skipped 72. The 72nd. This is the 72nd time we've gone over this. No, it's the 73rd. ¿Y el 5? 75th. Estamos practicando otra vez los 4 que suelen dar problemas. Los otros no la estamos practicando porque, bueno, suelen ir bien. From my experience. All right. El 80. Vamos con esta. Ya estamos. 80th. Le estás cogiendo el gustillo. You're finally getting it. Just a matter of practicing it, right? El 80, 80th. El 81, 81st. El 82, 82nd. El 85, 85th. Vamos con el 90. The 90th. This is the 90th one. Se puede decir también 90th. Pero muy importante que no es 90. 9. Hay que decir la segunda N, sí o sí. Eso no es negociable. Lo que es negociable es la T o la D. So you can say 90 o 90. Pero esa N hay que oírla. Yo he oído muchas veces 90 o 90. No. It's 9. Esa N hay que oírla. Y es un error muy común ahí, ¿ok? So 91st, 92nd. ¿Y el 95? 95th. All right, let's get a nice round of applause for everybody who's participating right now. Great job, everyone. Again, all of that is coming from my first book, English Everywhere. And that's just one chapter. It's 30 minutes of audio. I just played a little clip for you over here. All right, your answers. Vamos con sumar primero. So it's called addition. We say to add, but then we don't say to add to. ¿Ves? Entonces, add es sumar. Addition es la suma, ¿no? Lo que es el sustantivo. Pero 2 más 2, think of Canal Plus. 2 plus 2 equals or is, eso como te venga mejor. So 2 plus 2 equals 4. Great. Vamos con restar. So it's called subtraction. The verb is to subtract. And what we say when we do the equation is 2 minus 2, right? 2 minus 2 equals 0. Tenía que pensarlo, eh? Oh my God. 2 minus 2 equals or is 0. Okay. Let's multiply. Let's do some multiplication. 2 times 2 equals 4. Entonces ahí es fácil, es veces. De hecho, cuando ves muchas veces en escrito una X al lado de un número, pues, por ejemplo, en una canción te pone 3X. Significa 3 times. Tienes que cantar esa frase 3 veces. 3 times. Right? That's why it comes, because that's the symbol. 2 times 2 equals 4. 2 times 2 equals 4. And the last one is 2 divided by 2 equals, did you say 0? Again, this isn't a math class. I'm more concerned with how you say these expressions. Not these expressions. Yeah, they are expressions. They're equations in English. All right, my amigos. Because if you didn't know them, then we have to go back to square one. Back to square one. It's an idiomatic expression with numbers. Volvemos a cero, no? Back to square one. But no, you guys did a wonderful job. So I'm in seventh heaven. Another idiomatic expression. And some students are a dime a dozen. Some students are a dime a dozen. What does that mean? Que me compro una docena por 10 céntimos. O sea, que no tienen nada especial, no destacan. Not you. So a dime a dozen. Algo muy común, corriente, que realmente no lo valora la gente. But not you, amigos. You guys are awesome. So great job. I am on cloud 9. All right. I'll stop with the number idioms. But you know why? Because we've got to take a look at another section where we look at words that tend to mix my students up. It's homophones.
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. 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 The show with no name.
Show it no.
The show with no name. The show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's homophones only on the show with no name. And let's see what we've got for today's homophone section. The first word is a word you might be familiar with. We'll find out after this section, indeed. But it means to stop, to suspend, to interrupt something, right? If we put it with the word fire, es un alto de fuego. This is a word that's been thrown around a lot in the Gaza Strip. The word strip is franja. So parar de, cesar, morir also, sure. If it would be a biblical or not biblical, but a poetic way of saying to die. Okay? So that word is cesar, terminar, dejar, detener. También, como te digo, alto de fuego. We'll take a look at some other uses of it, as we always do. Because, as always, we don't just look at 2 words in this section. We look at 2 ideas, and then we play with them. Like cese y desista. Un orden de cese y desista. You guys say it the same way. Nunca dejas de sorprenderme. Lo usamos muchas veces en esa expresión. Nunca dejas de sorprenderme. So we'll take a look at that idiomatic expression as well. If when we once you guys give us your answers. So you got that? That's the first word. Now the second word is to grab something. Agarrar, sujetar, aprovechar, like in that way as well. Coger. Well, coger if you're in Spanish. If you're in Latin America, coger is another thing, right? I'll never forget learning that. I was in Los Angeles. I was working in Los Angeles. I was working with some, I'll make a long story short. I was working in Los Angeles with some Mexican dudes. And, I like to speak Spanish with them. I got to practice my Spanish because remember, there, here I'm surrounded, but there I didn't get to practice. So any chance I got, I'd love to practice my Spanish and show off. So the guy asked me, how did you get here? And I was like, cogí el autobús. Yeah, that's right. I said, cogí el autobús. And the guy, I swear to God, he literally, like, it's an idiomatic expression to roll on the floor laughing your ass off. He was literally rolling on the floor. We were in a kitchen. I'll never forget. We were in a kitchen. It was on Santa Monica Boulevard in Hollywood. And he was cracking up. And he tells his friends, oye, vatos locos, come over here. Güey, pinche güey, come over here. And, they all come over. He's like, cogió el autobús. I'm like, what is wrong with you guys? I'm so confused right now. And sure, they were having a laugh at my expense. And that day I learned that coger means to fornicate with. So I can just imagine the guy looking at me like, you were fornicating with a bus this morning. Wow. TMI, too much information. But hey, as we say, live and learn. Hay que aprovechar el día. Carpe diem. And that brings us to our second word. It's also used in the idiomatic expression carpe diem. We'll take a look at those homophones and so much more. But right now, we're going to take 5. Toma. Another idiomatic expression with numbers. Now, it doesn't literally mean 5 minutes. If somebody says take 5, it means cógete un descanso, respira un segundo. So we're going to take 5, and we'll be right back with the second half of today's show. So stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 3. Are you serious? This is really part 3? We've been here for almost an hour? Jeez. Well, I hope you guys are learning. I hope you are laughing. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for learning and laughing with us every day here on Vaughn Radio. Thanks to everybody who came to the trivia night last night. It was a blast. And now that I'm older, I can go out and not get drunk. When I was younger, I couldn't. I was never really an alcoholic. But I was like, we're going to go watch the soccer game. Got to have 6 beers, 7. And now I'm like, I try and have as few as possible. I'm like, well, if I can have 1 in the first half and 1 in the second half, that's 2 beers. That's good. It's funny how when we get older, you mature, I guess. It happens. When I was younger, I was looking for an excuse to drink more. And now I'm looking for an excuse to drink less. But you don't need to drink to have a good time. When you go to a bar and everybody's involved in the same activity, it's kind of like a communal thing. And then when you've got hosts, Ximena and Nacho, you've got it all. They did a great job. Remember, you can listen to Ximena and Nacho right after this show in Test Your English. It's an amazing show with two wonderful people at the helm, a los mandos. Ximena brings the content. Nacho brings the willingness, las ganas, and obviously the technical part. I'd love to see them switch roles one day. Hey, you guys, you should suggest that. All right, well, let's hear our Say What soundbite here. This is the third listen, and I can't help it. I freaking love this one.
It ceases to exist without me. No, you clearly don't know who you're talking to, so let me clue you in. Not in danger, Skylar. I am the danger.
Listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. This is what it's like at Vaughan Town, a peaceful place where you can really learn English and lose your inhibitions. There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Vaughan Town, lose your fear of speaking English. If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to grupovon.com or give us a call, 911-385831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Vaughan Town. You can get more information at the link. It's grupovon.com/cursos destacados. And you can find out when there's a special on Vaughan Town, Weekend Town, Vaughan Groups. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think there are any spots left. You can check. We had a special deal going on with our master's program as well. Again, follow on social media and you will be in the know. Enterados. I used to mix up enterados and enterrados. Yeah, very different. Buried or in the know. Hey, not the same thing. Impossible to be in the know if you're buried. All right, let's take a look over here, amigos. We've got our homophones here on the table. I see a lot of people participating, so a nice round of applause just for participating. We'll figure out if you got it right or wrong in just a moment when I say the words. All right, the first word is cease. Let me lower this a little bit so you hear it. Cease. Cease. Say it. Cease. It's a regular verb. The storm ceased in the early hours of the morning. Cesó. Does it seem familiar? Cesar, to cease. Right. The expression I gave you, you never cease to amaze me. Siempre me estáis sorprendiendo. You, show with no namers, you never cease to amaze me. Si no te aprendes nada, solo apréndete esa frase. Es bonita decirle a alguien. Well, you can also say it in the, oh God, here we go. What now? You never cease to amaze. O sea, tono es todo. Habéis oído mi tono, ¿no? Mi tono era, you never cease to amaze me with your English, with your good vibes. I meant it in the good way. So, cease. Also, to cease is suspender. For example, they ceased operations last year. Cesar, bueno, es lo mismo, cesar, detener. Cese y desista. It's a legal term. In English, very similar. Cease and desist. Now, quick question before we even check out the second word. Does it sound like the word mares? If I say, I travel the world and the seven seas. No. Listen, cease talking about the seas. Are they homophones? I remember, we're not even looking at the second word yet. Mares. Deja de mirar a los mares. Cease. I told him to cease looking at the seas. They aren't homophones, not with C's. Nope. This one's cease. Es una S. Cease. Okay? Cease and desist. Also, we said a ceasefire. Un alta de fuego. Cesar el fuego. They decided, or they agreed on, a ceasefire. To cease to exist, te lo tengo que explicar. I didn't think so. And nunca dejas de, no paras de, you never cease to amaze me, idiomatic expression. All right. The second one also has an idiomatic expression y es carpe diem. How would we say this one? Voy a decir ambas expresiones. Siempre me estás sorprendiendo y carpe diem. By the way, you can say carpe diem as well. You never cease to amaze me. Seize the day. Voy a bajar esto. You never cease to amaze me. Seize the day. They are not homophones. Yeah! Nice job, everybody who said no. They are not homophones, amigos. Sorry. Sorry to let you down. But remember how I brought up the word seize? That one is the same as the second word, not the first word. So the first word, let's say it. Say it with me. You never cease to amaze me. Acuérdate, en tercera persona, ampliamos, coge dos sílabas. He never ceases to amaze me. Seize the day. The police seized the drugs. The police seize drugs every day on the seas, en los mares. Playing with words as always, but great job to everybody who said no. They are not homophones because they're not. Not at all. All right, amigos, let's move on because we've got a lot to do here in today's Spelling Bee. Come on!
Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee.
All right, amigos, welcome to our Spelling Bee. And here, for the sake of simplicity, we are going to capitalize the first letter of every word. The first time, I am going to be relentless, despiadado. You're going to hate me. No, some of you might even get it. But if you're an intermediate level, even intermediate level, intermediate high levels are going to have difficulty on this first round. But don't worry, because I will repeat them a second time at a much slower, more manageable pace. And the word pace, mucho más fácil que la palabra rhythm, right? Pero luego no tienes, this is the rhythm of the night. Esos son ribocos sonai. All right, I'm in a sing-songy mood today, huh? Well, you can tell that the weekend isn't too far away. In fact, you smell that? I think that smells like the weekend. All right, here it is, folks. This is round one of today's Spelling Bee. Good luck. We'll see how you guys do. The first word is S-A-L-E-M space W-I-T-C-H space T-R-I-A-L-S. The second word is W-I-T-C-H-C-R-A-F-T. The third one, G-I-L-E-S space C-O-R-E-Y. The fourth one is S-A-R-A-H space G-O-O-D. The fifth one is S-A-R-A-H space O-S-B-O-R-N-E. And the last one is T-I-T-U-B-A. And while you guys are thinking that through, here's a little teaser for last week's FYI episode on Tina Turner. If you haven't listened to it, It's simply the best. Many say she's one thing's for sure. Her path to fame wasn't easy. It was plagued with problems from the get-go. Nevertheless, she stood her ground and kept doing what she loved to do best, singing her heart out and shaking her moneymaker like it's nobody's business. Today we are
Rolling, rolling, yeah, rolling on a river. Say we're rolling, yeah.
We'll tackle the tumultuous life and career of the tremendously talented Tina Turner on this week's episode of FYI. Welcome to For Your Info.
Inglés.
You got it. That's right. Her life is fascinating. Not just her music that piques people's interest, but her life. She has overcome every kind of obstacle you can imagine. She's an example to follow, and she is Tina Turner. You can learn about her on last week's episode of FYI. Remember, every Friday, you've got a brand spanking new episode. And this Friday, we're going to take a look at drugs. And we're going to hear from Scarface in the intro. But I'll play that for you tomorrow. Let's see if anybody got our spelling bee over here. I'm taking a look. Anybody going once? Going twice? All right, here it is. Round 2. The first word is SALEM space WITCH space TRIALS. The second word is WITCHCRAFT. The third one is GILES space COREY. The fourth one, SARAH space GOOD. See, guys, much more manageable, right? The fifth one, SARAH space OSBORNE. And the last one, TITUBA. Those are your spelling bee words. And folks, now we've got some winners over here. Give it up. Give it up. Give it up. Awesome. Awesome. Well, these are all words that had to do with the Salem witch trials. That's right. In Salem, Massachusetts, the famous Salem witch trials. And this was a series of hearings. This is an interesting word here. A hearing. A hearing is audiencia, you call it? Let me check. Es que lo sabía, pero quiero asegurarme. Oído, yeah, okay. Vista, audiencia. So it's a legal, it's not like a trial so much as a chance for you to tell your story before a trial happens. And the Salem witch trials, again, it happened between 1692 and 1693. So, in fact, a little bit over a year, because from February 1692 to May 1693, more than 200 people were accused of being witches or of using witchcraft. 30 people were found guilty. 19 were executed by hanging. 14 of those were women, 5 were men. And another man named Giles Corey died under torture. Vamos a pronunciar esa palabra. Torture after he refused to enter a plea. And a plea is, como decir, una negociación, a plea. suplica, declaración, alegato. Some good words over here. If you aren't familiar with this story, check out The Crucible, the famous play and movie, which was written by the playwright Arthur Miller. And it tells the story of the Salem witch trials. It's a very common play that you see done in many high schools. So the first word was Salem witch trials. The second one was witchcraft. The third one was Giles Corey. We just mentioned him over there. Then you've got Sarah Good and Sarah Osborne, two others that were famously accused of witchcraft, and Tituba. And Tituba, or Tituba, I've heard it pronounced both ways, was a Native American slave woman who was supposedly the one who brought the witchcraft to the girls and started trying to, teach them and show them all the different ways. And they danced in the woods. Very interesting story of how panic that isn't controlled, isn't contained, can lead to, people being killed. And we didn't learn our lesson. You know why? Well, it happened again with McCarthyism in the United States. I don't know if people were killed, but I know that their Hollywood careers were. And speaking of Hollywood, it's time for Name That Movie. Name That Movie. That's right, amigos. That's right. It is Name That Movie. And we were just talking about law, words that had to do with law. By the way, there's an FYI. No, there isn't an F. See, I'm used to saying that, so I just said it automatically. Wrong. Wait, let me get it. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. There isn't an FYI episode on law. There is a chapter in English Everywhere on law. Again, these are words you might want to know, because if you ever get in trouble with the law in the United States, which is pretty probable, you want to know what to say and, more importantly, what not to say, right? All right, so let me give you the trailer of this movie, and we'll see if you guys can figure out what movie it is. Here we go. A law student uncovers a conspiracy, putting herself and others in danger. Hey, we've looked at that word danger. It came up in our Say What soundbite.
Stop making resolutions and start making progress with your English in the new year. We've got something for everyone under the sun. Every level, every age, every budget. Grupo Vaughn has got you covered no matter what you're looking for. Whether it be master's courses, group or one-to-one classes, either online or in person. Vaughntown, a true immersion experience. Disney English and Vaughn Jr. for the kids. Oxford Test of English. Camps for kids of all ages. Online courses. And a wealth of other resources at vaughntienda.com. Stop by one of our centers for a free level test or a sample class from one of our top teachers. Why wait? There's no time like the present. Start the year off on the right foot. You can contact us at our website, grupovaughn.com, or give us a call at 911-385831. And make sure you're following us on social media. Let's get going. Pongámonos en marcha.
Go to the website, grupovaughn.com/cursos destacados, and make sure you're also following us on social media. And when I say us, I mean Grupo Vaughn, I mean Kyle, I mean all of us here on Vaughn Radio. And if you like what you see, as I always say, like, comment, and spread the word. All right, today's movie is The Pelican Brief. The Pelican Brief, it came out in 1993, and it stars Julia Roberts. Oh, goo goo gaga. Yeah. Anybody else in love with Julia Roberts? And listen, it's not a Pretty Woman thing. You know how I know that? I've never seen Pretty Woman. Yeah, I've never even seen a scene. Toma, homophones. Bueno, he oído gente decir scene. So I've never seen a scene from the movie. I know it's extremely popular. I guess I should get my ass in gear. Richard Gere, get my ass. Ponerme mal. All right. I know it's not the joke section, it's the movie section. Well, this movie came out, as I said, in the year 1993. I remember it very, very well. Julia Roberts, Denzel Washington, Sam Shepard. What a tour de force. And a tour de force means an amazing cast. Un reparto de los buenos. And you might recognize it, The Pelican Brief, because it's a famous novel by John Grisham. Okay, got John Grisham, very famous novelist, author. And typically, John Grisham signs over the rights to his books, and he doesn't participate in film production or the decisions associated with it. That's his MO, his modus operandi, his MO. But in The Pelican Brief, he had a clear idea of who Darby Shaw was, or who was supposed to play the role of Darby Shaw. And it was like an epiphany. He saw Julia Roberts, and that's all he saw, just Julia Roberts. And when Julia Roberts read the book, she agreed to do the role without even seeing the movie script. So the movie script could have been a complete piece of crap, but since she loved the book, she loved the author, she was on board. And again, he had her in mind since from the get-go, para usar una expresión, from the get-go. Now, this also, like many movies these days, many movies are filmed out of sequence. They're not filmed in chronological order. Why? Well, it's easier to film all the jungle scenes the same day when you're in the jungle. And then you move everybody over to the pool scenes. And then when the pool scenes, and then, right, and people don't even have to really interact with each other. Some actors who are, unless they're in a scene together, and even then, if they're on a phone call or something, they don't even have to be in the same room. They don't have to be in the same city at the same time. But this movie was filmed in sequence, kind of like a play is done, which I think helps the actors and the directors kind of see everything. But of course, to cut corners, ahorrar algo de coste, well, a lot of times they film it on a very, very strict schedule, and they don't leave anything to chance. Now, the two main stars, Julia Roberts and Denzel Washington, don't appear on screen together until an hour and 8 minutes into the movie. I mean, that's the star power there. That's the draw, la atracción. Draw es dibujar, pero también es la atracción. Those two stars there, Julia Roberts and Denzel Washington. But you don't see them together until an hour and 8 minutes into the movie. It's called Pelican Brief, and we'll take a quick look at it when we come back. We've also got to listen to our Say What soundbite again. We've got our Double Trouble. We've got famous birthdays. Oh, wait, did I say Double Trouble? I'm sorry. I meant Triple Trouble. All that and much more when we come back. So stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Can't believe it. Welcome back to the fourth and final part of today's show with no name on Vaughn Radio. Thank you so much for joining us and playing and laughing with us. It's an absolute pleasure, amigos. Come on in, come on in. We've got so much to do in this, the fourth and final part of today's show. Also, if you haven't participated in the question of the week, what on God's earth are you waiting for? Do it. You want to practice your speaking? You want me to help you? There you go. I'm giving you an opportunity every single week. That's Friday. Every Friday, we do question of the week. Tell us a place that you've been to that you'll never return to. And don't say your mother-in-law's. No digas casa de tu suegra. Eso no vale. Well, hey, if it's an interesting story, why not? All right, folks. All right. What do we have to do here? We've got to listen to our Say What soundbite for the fourth and final time. We'll see if anybody can figure it out right now. This is extremely popular, and I got to say, I love it too. All right, so is everybody ready? Here we go. Let's let the music finish, and here's your Say What soundbite for the fourth and final time.
It ceases to exist without me. No, you clearly don't know who you're talking to, so let me clue you in. I am not in danger, Skylar. I am the danger.
Do you mean business with your English? ¿Vas en serio? Well, if you don't have Kyle Miller's book, Business English, then you are missing out. Kyle's not only an English teacher, but he holds an MBA. And he will guide you through the ins and outs of business and the English language, all while having fun. Business English by Kyle Miller is the most complete English resource available. And it comes with audio and video. Pick up a copy of Kyle Miller's Business English. That is, if you mean business. Available at vaughntienda.com.
All right, amigos, let's take a look at today's movie. Again, it's a John Grisham novel, The Pelican Brief. Brief, as you know, a brief or a briefing, as we say, is when somebody tells you something, una sesión informativa. Now, what a lot of times bosses forget is that the word brief means breve. And they're like, okay, guys, we're going to have a briefing. I'm going to brief you. Now, briefs are also a kind of underwear. You've got boxers or briefs. And then my personal favorite, boxer briefs, which are a mix of the two. Hey, I'll be brief. And then I think of a briefcase as well. Un maletín, you call it, a briefcase. So, interesting word there, if you didn't know the word brief. And pelican, well, that's a kind of bird. Let's take a look at the scene that I've chosen here. These are the first lines of the movie. And Justice Rosenberg, justice is another way of saying judge, okay? So Justice Rosenberg says, any of those signs got a name on them? Y no pone them, pone apóstrofe E-M. Dilo conmigo. Any of those signs got a name on them? On them? En ellos? On them? You got $1 on you? Your parents got $1 on them? Hey, just telling you the way it sounds, and it's written like that. And Gray Grantham says, quite a few. Now, this is an interesting idiomatic expression, because when you hear it, you're like, a few es poco. Yeah, a few is poco. Pero quite a few is bastantes. So it's kind of a false friend, or at least it's misleading. No te guía mal ahí. So quite a few. And Justice Rosenberg says, what do they say? ¿Qué dicen? What do they say? And Gray says, the usual. Death to Rosenberg. Muerte a Rosenberg. Careful with that word. Die, apúntalo. We have an episode, an FYI episode on it. But still, people mix it up. All right, so write it down. To die, morir. D-I-E. Dead, muerto. Okay, die es verbo. Muerto, dead, es el adjetivo. La muerte, death, sustantivo. Don't mix them up. So he goes, the usual. Death to Rosenberg. Retire Rosenberg. Cut off the oxygen. Oxígeno, eso es fácil. Cut off, corta. ¿No? Cut off the oxygen. Another time they use the word to cut off. Two different things that come to mind. To cut somebody off at a bar es no le des más de córtale, no le des, córtale el grifo. Cut them off. And two more. When you cut somebody off when you're speaking. So if you're speaking and somebody hey, don't cut me off. No me interrumpes. And also in a car. And in a car, that's another place where somebody can cut you off. And when somebody cuts you off, they literally enter in your lane dangerously. Se meten en tu carril de forma peligrosa. So obviously there's not enough room. They don't put on their blinker. If you haven't, in fact, today, listen to this. Now I can say both. There's an FYI episode on cars. Okay. If you haven't given it a listen, give it a listen. There's also a chapter in English Everywhere on cars as well. So if you're around cars, you need to know about cars, you've got a lot of resources. All right. So let's continue here. Where was I? Cut off the oxygen. Okay. And then Justice Rosenberg laughs. That's my favorite. Of course, you, Mr. Graham, did pretty good by me your last time out. Me trataste bien, ¿no? En cuanto a mí, you did good by me your last time out. La última vez que estabas fuera. He says, Rosenberg equals the government over business. Rosenberg apoya más el gobierno por encima del negocio. The individual over government. El individuo, eso es fácil. And the environment over everything. And the Indians y los indios, oh, give them whatever they want. Dales lo que quieran. Give them whatever they want. And then Gray says, well, with all due respect, sir, apúntate esa. With all due respect. Okay, esto es con todo y normalmente le vas a decir algo que no le gusta. Hold on, let me take a sip of water. My throat gets a little bit dry sometimes when I'm talking endlessly. So let me just take a little sip of water. Cosas del directo, as you say. Ah, that wasn't a sip. That was a gulp. Bueno, dos palabras más. Sip, gulp, glum. So I took a gulp. So he says, give them, otra vez, no es give them. It's give them. Dilo conmigo. Give them whatever they want. Dales lo que quieran. And then Gray says, well, with all due respect, sir, that wasn't my line. That was my quote. O sea, no era una frase de una obra o de una película. Eso es mi cita. Eso es algo que yo digo de verdad. It was my quote. Y también el verbo to quote es citar. I'm going to quote Shakespeare. Okay? And then Justice Rosenberg says, from one of your unnamed, no nombrado, from one of your unnamed senior White House officials. Senior White House son of a bitch, I should have said. Son of a bitch. Si no quieres usar esa palabra, siempre podemos usar las siglas SOB. That guy's a real SOB. He's a real son of a bitch. Hombre, le sigues faltando respeto, pero al menos no dices una palabra. It's an abbreviation. But here, they're not trying to abbreviate. This is Hollywood. He goes, Senior White House son of a bitch, I should have said. Como su cargo, no? His position. He says, who got there by stirring up these people one against the other. And to stir, okay, stir, remover. It's a false friend. To remove is quitar. To stir, Lara knows this one because we cook together. Okay, Lara, can you help me? Let's stir the soup. Let's stir the broth, el caldo. Remember, we learn by doing, folks. Okay? It's the best way to learn, doing things, and then your curiosity is, ¿y cómo se dice esto? Y amasar. And as you do things, oh, esta no lo sabía. Y enjuagar. So, again, doing and asking yourself, how do you say this in English? The good thing is I did all that work in the book English Everywhere. As you guys know, it's all in there. I've got a lot of different situations and chapters. And as always, I was thinking of practicality. So then let me finish up over here. He goes, who got in there by stirring up these people, removiendo, and one against the other, uno en contra del otro. Here he says it. Are you ready for this expression? Quiero que tú lo cambies, pero con una palabra que vimos hoy en la sección homophones. It never fails to amaze me. ¿Lo puedes cambiar? It never fails to amaze me. ¿Y cómo lo has pronunciado? It never ceases to amaze me. Right? The word we looked at was cease, pero esto es tercera persona. Entonces, en tercera persona, it never ceases to amaze me what a man will do to get into the Oval Office. All right, amigos, there you go. That's Name That Movie. I think it's time for another challenge. It's our Triple Trouble.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double. Double trouble. I said double. Double trouble. Double. Double trouble. I said double. Double trouble.
That's right, amigos. It is double trouble, or I should say triple trouble here. We'll take a look at this and see if you guys can figure it out. Are you ready? Mi coche se averió. Okay, mi coche se averió y estoy sin blanca porque me gasté todos los ahorros y más. Vamos a decir, todos los ahorros y más cuando lo compré. All right, I'll go over it for you again here because as I just told you, it's not going to be easy. It's a triple trouble, as we said over here. So, mi coche se averió y estoy sin blanca porque me gasté todos los ahorros y más cuando lo compré. All right, there you go. Again, you have to use the same word 3 times.
¿Quieres estar al tanto de todas nuestras promociones en la Vaughan Esfera? Well, now you can be in the loop. Puedes estar al tanto. Puedes enterarte de ofertas, novedades y eventos. Y mucho más. Puedes encontrar todo eso en grupovaughan.com/cursos destacados. Eso es, en grupovaughan.com/cursos destacados. Ahí tendrás toda la información de última hora. Guárdalo como favorito. grupovaughan.com/cursos destacados. And stay in the loop.
All right, great job. I see we've got some people figuring out our triple trouble. Whoa. All right, so let's take it piece by piece. Let's break it down. Acabo de usar la primera palabra, desglosar. So I could have made it a triple trouble. Desglosar, masticar, hacer más fácil, más simple. So my car broke down. Se averió. It broke down. Y estoy sin Blanca. And I'm broke. If you want to add some emphasis, you can say I'm broke as a joke. No, porque rima. So my car broke down and I'm broke. Y estoy sin un duro. Because I broke the bank when I bought it. And to break the bank, piénsalo, your piggy bank, tu uchita, right? You call it the same thing, a piggy bank. No, ucha de la de cerdito. Well, if you break it, pues no, te quedas sin nada. Te gastas todo lo que tienes. Y más, as I said. So excellent job, everybody. This one was tough. My car broke down. And I'm broke. Because I broke the bank when I bought it. All right, folks, time for famous birthday trivia.
Famous birthdays for you. Famous birthdays for me. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Birthdays for him. Famous birthdays for her. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. Welcome to Famous Birthday Trivia here on the show with no name. All right, let's see what we've got today. We've got 3 birthday boys and girls. The first person is celebrating a birthday today, was born in 1974. And she has her stage name, which I knew her stage name, but I didn't know her real name. So I'll take her stage name. Now, she is best known as her role of Pam Beasley in the sitcom The Office. Pam Beasley, she's very, very funny. Now, I'm talking about The American Office. If you haven't seen them, you've got to see both. When people ask me, Alberto, should I watch The American Office or the British one? I'm like, both. Absolutely both. I can't decide. I honestly can't decide which one I like more because they're just awesome in their own right. If you haven't seen them, great way to pick up some office vocabulary and learn how to shoot the shit, shoot the breeze, estar de cháchara with your workmates. All right, so yes, she was in The Office and she was nominated for the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Comedy Series. You have to take a deep breath. If you're awarding her that, you have to take a deep breath to say it. You say it. Ready? And the nominee for the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Comedy Series is, you didn't think I was going to tell you her name, did you? She was also in Blades of Glory in 2007. She was in The Promotion in 2008. Hall Pass in 2011. And as I said, her claim to fame, Pam Beasley on The Office. Number 2, you've definitely heard of this guy. Oops, I just said his last name. Tal cual, oído. He was born in 1946, and he's an actor that was in Beaches. He was in Big, if you remember the movie Big with Tom Hanks. He was also in The Pelican Brief, which was today's Name That Movie. And I think everybody knows him as Peter McAllister, the dad in Home Alone, of course. Yeah. Have you heard of him? Ahora te he dado su nombre dos veces. And last but not least, Walter White. All right, that's not his real name. His real name is, you're going to tell me. But in Breaking Bad, he's known as Walter White. And, oh, man, I don't like, well, this week we're going to be looking at drugs on FYI. And the first thing I say is I don't glorify these things at all. And so this movie doesn't, it's not a movie, first of all. It's a series. And if you haven't seen it, I do recommend it. It's awesome. The acting, the writing, it really is awesome. As I said before, a tour de force. I mean, this guy's great, but then everybody on board is amazing. Hey, just like my show with no namers. Today's birthday girls and boys, Jenna Fisher, Number 1, Jenna Fisher. Number 2, John Hurd. And number 3, Bryan Cranston, the one and only Bryan Cranston. All right, let's take a look then at what our Say What soundbite is. It's Bryan Cranston playing Walter White. It's a very famous line from the series. And his wife is saying that they should go to the police because I don't want to get into too much. And he's saying, absolutely not, over my dead body. So he starts out and he says, it ceases to exist without me. We looked at that word, cesar. It ceases to exist without me. Okay? No, you clearly don't know who you're talking to. So let me clue you in. Es una forma de decir, déjame darte una pista. Let me clue you in. I am not in danger, Skylar. Skylar's his wife. I am the danger. Here he is. I can't do it as good as he does it. Bryan Cranston, our birthday boy.
It ceases to exist without me. No, you clearly don't know who you're talking to, so let me clue you in. I am not in danger, Skylar. I am the danger.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is. No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. Name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name.
Great job, show with no namers. Keep up the wonderful work every day. And remember, tomorrow's a very special show because we're going to be hearing from you in our question of the week. And if we haven't heard from you yet, as I said before, this is your last chance. Come on, do it. I dare you. Anímate. I think it's awesome. And remember this, I don't care how low your level is. Nobody is going to laugh at you. At least not in my class. It is off limits, right? So doesn't matter because I imagine some people say, oh, but wow, I'm never going to sound as good as Laura or Anix or whoever. I'm just saying random names of show with no namers who sound great speaking English. And again, it's not about the pronunciation. Yeah, that's important. All those little nuances, esos matices, but at the same time, it's about your confidence. And how do you get confident? Speaking. By speaking as much as possible. So thank you. If you've already participated, if you haven't, I urge you, te Instagram. I urge you to participate. And I promise we won't be cruel. We won't be cruel to a heart that's true, which is today's Name That Lyric. Yeah, I don't know how I linked that. Don't ask me. We promise we won't be cruel, but this song is Don't Be Cruel. Acuérdate en inglés, aunque se escriba igual, la E es muda. Don't be cruel to a heart that's true. Let's take a look at the lyrics, and we're going to say goodbye as we dance and sing to this classic Elvis tune. He says, you know I can be found. Sé que me puedes encontrar sitting home all alone, estando en casa solito. If you can't come around, si tú no puedes pasarte, at least please telephone. Telephone aquí lo usa como verbo. At least please telephone. Don't be cruel. The chorus, everybody knows this part. To a heart that's true. Bueno, no sé. ¿Sabías la segunda parte? I know you know, don't be cruel to a heart that's true. Un corazón que es, ¿no? Sincero contigo, es bueno. Baby, if I made you mad. Chica, si te enfadé. For something I might have said. De algo que quizá habría dicho. Something I might have said. Please, let's forget my past. Right? Vamos a olvidarnos de mi pasado. The future looks bright ahead. El futuro tiene buena pinta. I say that to you guys too, at least with your English. Don't be cruel to a heart that's true. I don't want no other love. Hang on. I don't want no other love? I don't want any other love. Pero bueno, we'll let him do a double negative. Folks, sing it with me. It's don't be cruel. Boom, ba-dum, boom, ba-dum, ba-boom.